When I was in 6th grade, I ran away from home. I remember having an argument with my mother, and my blood boiled. I was angry with her. I was angry with how she was treating me. The thought process came into my mind that she wasn't going to change. So I put in the resolve that I should just run away from home. That I should just disappear from their world, because how they were treating me, how they were portraying me was as if I was a problem. The amount of times they would scream at me, the amount of times that they would just tell me off, insult me, argue with me. It was as if I was the problem. So I ran away. And you know what? Deep down, I wanted them to care. Deep down, I wanted them to pick me up from where I was going. I slowed down my steps. Every step I treaded, I slowed it down. Because deep down, I wanted them to care for me. Deep down, I wanted to just make sure that they loved me enough that when I would run away, they'd come pick me up. They'd come to help me. And I'm glad they did. I'm glad they went ahead, went out of their way to get onto a vehicle and pick me up. Now, as odd as that story sounds, I noticed in myself that I was the type of person that would run away from a lot of his problems. I was the type of person that whenever I would be faced with a problem, whenever I would be faced with something painful, I was the type to run away, to avoid reality as much as I could, to distract myself away from my problems. I was the type who would run away from what I needed to do, from what I needed to face. And I noticed this in the work that I do. When I would be faced with something difficult, with something hard, something that I needed to figure out, a problem that I needed to figure out, that I needed to solve, when push came to shove, I would choose my bad habits. I would choose indulgence. I would choose to distract myself away from my reality. And a lot of these excuses came into my mind. It's too hard. It's too difficult. Why does it hurt so much? Look at him. Why can he do it so well? Look at him. Why can he stay that consistent? Does God hate me? I would have all these questions inside of my mind. I would have all of these thoughts ruminating and destroying my very being. When I would go about my life, when a problem came my way, I'd quit. I'd run away. I would flop over and just let the world do as it pleased with me. I would resolve to distract myself, to avoid reality, to shut myself off from the world because I didn't want to face my problems. I didn't want to see the wreck that I had become as a result of running away from my problems. Deep down, when you think about it, both of us understand that we want something more, that we want to make a change in our life and become something great, to achieve goals, to have a purposeful work that we do. We want that. That's the kind of person that we are. So when moments like these happen, I know for a fact that you hate yourself for it. I know for a fact that when moments like these occur, where you distract yourself, where you avoid reality, where you run away from your problems, I know for a fact that you hate yourself for it, that you feel depressed over it. You start to ruminate in your thoughts. What the fuck am I doing with my life? What am I doing? This isn't me. This isn't what I want. This isn't who I am. You understand completely your wasted potential. You understand completely that you could become something so much more than what you are right now. Yet you are choosing to destroy yourself, to be nothing, to live for nothing. Now, what I had learned from running away from my problems, what has helped me to face my fears, is to understand who I am and the type of life that I wanted to live. When you look around, when you see yourself, when you see the kind of life that you want to live, do you see yourself as the kind of person who would avoid reality, who's okay with a mediocre life, who's okay with not being able to achieve any of your fucking goals, who's okay with indulgences, playing video games for 12 hours a day, wanking your dick off 5 times in a day, who's okay with scrolling, like doom scrolling until 3 a.m. in the fucking morning? Are you okay with that life? Is that kind of life for you? Is that what you want? No, you don't want that, do you? So why the fuck are you choosing it? Why the fuck are you choosing that kind of life if that's not what you want? Are you a dumbass? Like, no offense to you, like, are you a dumbass? You don't want it, yet you still keep fucking doing it. I understand it's hard. I understand that it's difficult. I understand that when push comes to shove, holy shit, it's painful. Holy shit, it sucks. It sucks to live a life of hard work, of pursuing goals. It sucks. It hurts. It's uncomfortable. But isn't that the kind of life that would give you your success? Think about it. It's difficult. It's hard. But we can understand that that kind of life is fulfilling. We can understand that when we live close to our purpose, when we live striving to achieve our goals, striving to make a change in our lives, that is when we feel most fulfilled. That is when we feel happy. When we feel as if the stars align. And during those moments, we know we're striving for something great. We know we're taking steps towards greatness, towards actually making something of ourselves. We both understand that. So, why not accept that you are going to live a life of a goal-striving man? Why not accept that this is the kind of life that you're going to live anyway? Why try to argue for a life of bitchery, for a life of weakness, a weak little baby bitchery? Why try to argue for that kind of life? Why try to give any focus, give any of your mental bandwidth towards considering that kind of life? When you and I both understand that this life of goal, striving, self-improvement, focus on change, focus on growth, we want to work on our business, we want to work on ourselves kind of life, like, why would you argue that this isn't it? This is our life. This is it. We're going to live like this. And there isn't any other option. That was what had resolved me to actually make a commitment for this kind of life. To actually make a commitment and just decimate any other option, because they aren't options. They're destructive in nature. They're your own decimation. It's kind of like a self-fucking destruct button. And it's not the life you want to live. It's not the life that I want to live. When we choose our indulgences, when we choose to avoid reality, to shut ourselves off from the world, we have those thoughts. What am I doing? No, this isn't it. I gotta stop this. What am I doing? Face your fears. It's supposed to be hard. We're going to live like this anyway. This is the kind of life that we want anyway. We're goal-striving men, right? You want to achieve your goals, right? You want to make a change in your life, right? You want to do something with your life, to live a purposeful life, right? Don't advocate for anything else other than this kind of life. This is the life that you want to live anyway. Why choose anything else? Why advocate for anything else? Why consider anything else? Why think of any other bitchery that would deviate you away from this life? That would absolutely just guarantee your goals to be achieved. That would absolutely guarantee that you live a fulfilling life. Why deviate away from that? Don't consider any other option. Don't consider that bitchery is even an option. It's self-destruction. You don't want it. You hate it. You abhor it. Why choose it? You have to keep that in mind. You have to write it down on a piece of pen and paper. And you have to see it every day. Post it on your wall. Remind yourself. Put it on your notes app. Put it on your phone. Like, put it on your phone's notes app. And see it every day for yourself. Remind yourself why. Like, your reasons why you don't want it. Like, fuck that life. Fuck that bitchery. Fuck every single one of those indulgences. Like, and remember what it did to you. Remember what it had done to you. How depressed you were. How much you hated your life. I became suicidal because I lived a life of bitchery. Because I chose to run away from my problems instead of fucking facing it. Instead of fucking facing it and understanding that this was the kind of life that I wanted to live. That I want to live a life of purpose. Face your fears and understand that this is it. This is the kind of life you want to live. A life of growth, a life of purpose, a life of fulfillment, a life of goal-striving tendencies. Face your fears. Live this way. This is your life. This is how you are supposed to do it anyway. This is how you are supposed to live anyway. Don't settle for anything less than that. If you found this video helpful in any way, then you might want to check out the top link in the description. I have a consistency community where I'll basically teach you how to become consistent. Every mental model, every mental lesson, mindset shifts that I had made for myself that helped me to get consistent, as well as different applications, like different tools that you can use to help you get consistent, such as timetables, routines, task lists, just a bunch more lessons that will just absolutely help you to get consistent. Besides that, like, you'll get coaching from me, personal coaching on whatever problem that you have. So go check it out. It's in the top link in the description. Besides that, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment down below so that more people get pushed out like this kind of content and I can help out more people. Keep moving forward no matter how hopeless it seems. Bye-bye.